Hi everybody, Lex the Great here. I have recently come across the second edition for Palladium fantasy role-playing game. I have the revised edition that I've talked about a couple of times before. I'm no expert by any means on the Palladium series of books, but I do own Palladium revised edition, this one, second edition, and Rifts. Now, that's how I pronounced it. I have heard Palladium pronounced several different ways. Palladium, Palladium. Palladium is what I feel is how it's supposed to be pronounced, but I could be mistaken. So I do um, apologize if I'm ruffling anyone's feathers in that department. But in this video, I'm going to make a character sheet using this book. This is not a tutorial. This is not a how-to or a review. I'm just documenting my attempt at making a character sheet. If you want to use this as reference to see how a beginner can struggle at this, what I see as a rules-heavy game, then perhaps I hope this is of use to you. If not, background noise at best. So let's begin. Got this classic grid paper here. Let's go to the index, the table of contents, and find where we start. 14. Now, based on some simple online reviews of both the revised edition and second edition, apparently the second edition is cleaned up a bit in comparison to the revised edition. So perhaps that will be a benefit for me. Let's roll up, or at least write down the 8 attributes that our character will have. So I'm assuming my character name will be up here, so I'll just put name. And then I'll put the 8 attributes in these squares here. First is IQ. Then is ME, which I believe is mental endurance. MA, which I think is mental affinity, if I'm not mistaken. PS, which is physical strength. And then PP is physical prowess. PE, physical endurance. PB is physical beauty. And then speed. I think that's how they are. I think that's how they're named. So, there are exceptional rolls, as it says. So if you roll a 16 or higher, that can give you a bonus. But basically, we roll a 3d6 depending if I decide on a human character or a non-human character. That may change the method of rolling dice, the amount of dice rolled. So let's see if I was accurate. IQ, intelligence, potent, mental endurance for me, mental affinity, physical strength, physical prowess, physical endurance, physical beauty, speed. I was correct. Okay. So I believe we start here, rolling 3d6. I'll go with a human just to make it simple for myself. So let's say our name is here. Race, I'll put here. Human. And this video will take, I think, over an hour. I'm referencing my time, the time it took me to make an advanced D&D character. I think it's second edition. So let's roll up these stats here. 3d6. Okay, so IQ will be, it's not bad, 14. I'll take that. And mental endurance. That's 10. That's also 10 for mental affinity. All right, so that's going to be 13 physical strength. Physical prowess, which is, I think, basically dexterity, because it says shows the degree of dexterity and agility of the character. I have to remember that. Oh, so we got 16. All right, we have our first bonus, and this is for physical prowess. It says here 16 or higher is awarded bonuses to the dodge, parry, and strike, which is down here in this attribute bonus chart. We will remember that. So let's see, 16. I'll have to note these details. For now, let's keep rolling. That's 10 for physical endurance. That's 7 for physical beauty. And then speed. I believe they roll up speed. Let me double check really quick. Don't recall. Let's see. Yep, it's included in the attributes to roll up. Let's do that here. All right, so that's going to be 9, 10, 11, 12 speed. Okay. Let's think of a name. I'll do Paragon. All right, so skill bonuses. We have to now take note of the bonus chart. What I'll do is write the bonuses next door to the attributes. So 16 for physical prowess is a +1 on parry and dodge bonus and bonus to strike. All right, so I'm going to write that, let's say, right here. Bonuses. I'll do parry dodge bonus. +1. And then bonus to strike. I'll put 2 strike. That's a +1. Alrighty, excellent. So we got that taken care of. Speed. The character's max running speed. The speed times 20 is the number of yards or meters that the character can now run in 1 minute. The greater the speed attribute, the faster the character is. So what I'll do here is write, let's say, in 1 minute. Trying to think if I should put it in a separate section or just kind of piggyback off speed. So let's do times 20, which is the number of yards or meters that the character can run in 1 minute. Well, times 20, so 100 would be 120. Times 20 would be 240 yards. In 1 minute. Okay. Next, weight and height, or weight and movement. Normal characters with the PS of 3 to 16 can carry 10 times their PS in pounds. All right, let's see. Our PS is 13. So I'll put this over here. Can carry. Our PS is within 3 to 16. 10 pounds, 10 times in total pounds. So PS times 13, that's 130 pounds. All right. Strong characters to PS 17 or higher, which were not supernatural, were not lifting weight. Lifting weight's a little different than carrying weight. You may have noticed yourself that you can usually lift up a heavier amount than you can carry. Not talking about weightlifting in bodybuilding sense, nor lifting a heavy weight above the chest. Simply the ability to bend over and lift something that weighs more than you can carry. This simple rule is a character can lift twice as much as he or she could carry. The character PS5, a PS9 can carry 90 pounds but can lift 180. Okay, so what I'll do is lift times 2, and then that would be 260 pounds. Meanwhile, the supernatural strong creature PS24 can lift 2,400 pounds. Throwing objects. Okay, trying to cover everything in this process. So, throwing objects, general effect range by strength. Normal strength for characters PS3 through 19. Okay, so it looks like this table here is a reference. So I don't think I should write anything down at this point. Will I use this character sheet in the future video? That depends if I learn everything as much as I can about Palladium to play it. But often I make character sheets, I don't actually play the game following the creation of the sheet. So the throw section here, at 1 foot, 0.3 millimeters to the effective range for every PS point listed. PS24 at 24 feet, 7.3 meters. Okay. So, I'm going to put throw here, and then do a quick math problem off the side. You know, instead of meters, I'll just stick with feet. So add 1 foot to the effective range for every PS point listed. So 24 is basically PS. I can throw 13 feet, which does not seem too impressive. All right. Maybe let's just heavier objects. Like a javelin can throw 300 feet. All these numbers are different. So I'll put a asterisk here to reference page 17, just for reference. Now, moving and exertion. Keep the game simple and quick moving. Light activities such as walking, jogging, driving, standing guard, doing repairs, and similar activity can be conducted for hours without affecting characters adversely. Adversely, both players and game masters should apply common sense and logic to the duration of activity. Even intense activities such as 20 minutes of combat followed by the rest of light action will not significantly impair the character's efficiency, and it's all a matter of pacing. Prolonged periods of combat and heavy exertion, an hour or more intense continually, physical exertion will take its toll. The character reduced the following once every hour. So these are, again, movement and exert. I'll do page 17. Supernatural, which we're not. Speed chart. Okay, slide this over. Move this down a bit. There we go. Okay. The following is a simple conversion table of speed factors in approximate miles per hour, or kilometer equivalents. Okay, so MPH. Our speed factor is 20, or sorry, 12, and we can do 7.5 miles per hour. Okay. Hit points and SDK. Structural damage capacity. The two types of SDK. Interesting. Determining hit points. I remember this. So let's put HP in a good spot. I'll probably do it right here. HP. And then perhaps we'll do a box. Oh no, I'm trying to make this somewhat legible. And then I'll do, let's see, what would max be? Let's do it on the side here. Current. Okay. Having rolled up your 8 attributes, sorry, this book is really folding in on itself. Call on one's physical condition. The physical endurance indicates a character's base starting amount of hit points. So our physical endurance is 10, okay. Some players have a character a lot more hit points. Building hit points after determining your base. Let's see, I'm trying to read past this fold. Sorry about that. Pick up a one six-sided die, roll it, add that number to your hit points. Only roll one six-sided die. Okay, so we'll roll this. 2. So that's going to be based on the physical endurance. So now we're at 12. Good. Notes on supernatural, which we're not. Structural damage capacity. There are two types of SDC. First applies to living creatures and can be thought as a supplement to hit points. The second applies to inanimate, non-living structural, such as body armor, chairs, locks, etc. Determining physical SDC is simple. So let's write this down. I'll do SDC, keep it in the same area as health, as the hit points. Characters with a background as a man of arms roll 3d6 for SDC, while practitioners or magic scholars, all others, roll 1d6 for SDC. This SDC base can be increased further through selection of certain physical skills. Okay, so this is determined by the background. So what I have to do is put a little star here and put BG as a reminder. We'll have to come back to that. I think I was interested in trying the Merchant OCC, the occupational character class in this game, because that's what intrigued me about this game in the beginning, was the loads of OCCs, classes essentially. The rest tells you about being injured, recovery of hit points, coma, optional damage rules. It's kind of a character creation and slash rules overview. Psionics. There are two ways of getting character has psionic powers. The first and simplest way is to select one physical, psychic, occupational, which we won't, so I will ignore psionics. Okay, selecting a race, which I'm already decided as human, and then the OCC. OCC requirements. Alignments is next. Equipment and money. So there's definitely plenty here to go through. Let's see what we got. Selection of OCC limited only by number and minimal attributes required for the occupation and player's personal taste. Skills and skill selection. I'm sure I'd qualify for a merchant. By the way, I probably should write that down. Let's do OCC. Once we get to that. Skills and skill selection. Each OCC has 3 categories: OCC skills, OCC related skills, and secondary skills. Class skills are the areas of expertise and training that all characters receive when they select that profession. The bonus in parentheses reflects that specialized training. Class-related skills are other skill areas of formal training and knowledge. In many cases, these skills will also reflect the character's occupational interests. Not all skills categories are available for skill selection. They are marked none. Moving on to secondary skills are things that have been learned without formal training. They are hobbies, interests, and abilities that a person has learned himself by reading, watching others, and practicing what he has seen. Skill bonus, the basic skill is denoted in each skill description. Maximum skill level is limited to 90%. So there is a percentile system in this game. Equipment and money. All characters get a basic list of starting equipment typical for that OCC. Okay, money is a great motivator for action in role-playing scenario. All right, rolling out one character. Let's go with let's work on alignment. I think our work or alignment. Let's put it right here. Now, for a merchant, what would be a good? So these aren't the cut and dry like D&D. Good, neutral, evil. These are uniquely defined. We have neutral. Okay. Sorry, I had to take a break really quick. All right, alignments. So good is principled and scrupulous. Selfish is unprincipled and anarchist. Evil is miscreant, aberrant, and diabolic. So I think we'll do neutral. Neutral. Principled, scrupulous. Or hmm. Let's move this over a bit so you guys can see it. I'm thinking unprincipled, perhaps, maybe. Selfish alignments, but not necessarily evil. This basically a good person tends to be selfish, greedy, and holds his or her own personal freedom and welfare above almost everyone else. He dislikes confining laws, self-discipline, and distrusts authority. This is the Han Solo character from Star Wars, the guy who's always looking for the best deal. That makes sense. Have a high regard for life and freedom. Keep his word of honor. Longitude necessary. This is a merchant. I believe that is a merchant, at least in my eyes. So I'll say unprincipled. And then just a note here, selfish. They're out to make money in this crazy world we live in. So a merchant, that makes sense to me. Next is insanity, trauma, sanity tables. This could be fun. I mean, I've done this. I've done this before. I'm making a character off the camera with the original revised edition. I was just checking my channel to make sure if I didn't make a character on camera, and I don't think it doesn't look like I did. So I never remember I have off camera, but with an actual character sheet printed out from the official website, which are specific to classes. This I think would fall under optional, but again, I'm just want to make one on paper. So insanity rules have proven to be a favorite among RPG players for years. So I've included a new and improved insanity section. However, the inclusion of insanity is entirely optional, left up to the GM. Well, we can try. I don't see why not. Let's do that here. Insanities. Okay. Let's just do one of these. So grab a D100. 45. Phobia. Okay. So we have phobia. I'll just have to reword this to insanity. I'm only choosing to do one. Phobia. All right. And we need to roll on the phobia table. Okay. Looks like it's still down here off camera. Just roll on the following table, okay? 96. This table is a little odd. It says 49 to 100. I'm going to re-roll that. I think that's a typo by the creators, by the writer of this game. Let me try again. 88. Sadistic. Derives pleasure from inflicting or observing pain. Oh, gosh. Yeah, definitely not doing that. Uh, Phobia. I'm way off. I'm sorry, guys. It's way over here on page 28. Okay. 72. I was reading the wrong tables. 72 is Mind Mage. Phobia table. So he's a phobia of Mind Mage. I'm going to change that and let's do a phobia of the undead vampires. Undead vampires. I like that. All right, let's keep going. We'll just do that one for now. Experience points. Let's see. Skipping through this. It's just a recap, overview. Character background. There we go. We're getting to the. All right. Birth order. Let's do a little section of background. We'll follow this order here. Let me erase this here and move it down. So the undead, vampire. There we go. And I'm going to write down these character details here. So BG. And then we'll do birth order. We'll roll a D100 percentile. 89. Illegitimate. Illegitimate. Okay, that works. Illegitimate. Okay, next is his weight. $15. He's thin. All right, and then his height. 97. That's tall. His age. Nine. He's 17 years old. Okay. 17 years old. His disposition. Let's see. 34. His disposition is he's hot-headed, quick-tempered, emotional, but basically nice. All right, so he's hot-headed. Quick tempered. So he has a temper. Emotional. I'll write that here. That's fine. I'll include that. Land of origin, which is based on the game. So we'll try it. Right. 15 looks like he's from Lopin, the Eastern Territory. East Territory. All right. Type of environment. Here, environment. Okay, let's roll. 29. Large farming community. Okay. Large farming community. Social family background. Family. Let's do this here. 18. Self peasant laborer. Okay. Serf peasant laborer. That works. Peasant laborer. That works with the merchant idea. Okay. Racial hostilities bias. Let's see if I include this. 46. Changelings. Interesting. Racial hostilities. Racial bias. Changelings. All right. Notes on aging. We'll skip that. Tips on role playing. We gotta get to the OCCs here. Dice change. Combat rules. Looks like I might have skipped. Did I skip the? Let's find it. So go back. Let's see. Combat rules, skills, dispositions, player characters, money, list of OCCs. Here we go. 62. A little out of order, but that's fine. Clergy. Okay, so the merchant is under optional. So I'm a merchant. All right, so let's jump to that. Priest of Darkness. Druid. Five Laws. Men of Arms. Okay. Let's see. Paladin. Palladium, Paladin. Thief. All right. Here is the merchant OCC. Alignments any. Attribute requirements IQ 10 or higher, which we have. MA is also helpful, but not required. MA is 10. That's normal. Multiple OCCs are possible as long as the character has the required attributes. Okay, so OCC skills. Okay, here we go. We have basic math. It says plus 25% for some reason, so I'll put that in there. Okay, some math, languages. So I'll do LAG. Native tongue, 90% plus 2 of your choice, 10% each. Okay, so native tongue, 90%. And then we have 2 more of our choice. I'll do one here, 10% each. Or plus 10%, I should say. So plus 10%. Language 1 and language 2. It's good to know. Now, let me fix this up really quick. There's 2 languages. There we go. That's better. Literacy. Which I cannot spell because I am not apparently literate. It's right there. Literacy. That's better. Okay. It says 1 language of choice, usually native or elf. Okay. Let's do. Native tongue or self. I'll just do native. It says plus 10%, so I'm sure they'll be changed here coming shortly. Public speaking. Plus 10%. WP, whatever that means, 2 of choice. Okay, so I'm not too sure what that means. We'll do WP. Just times 2. I'll put an asterisk right next to it, so I have to take a look at that later. Or actually, let's do a star. Hand-to-hand basic. It looks like it says hand-to-hand basic can be changed to hand-to-hand expert for the cost of 2 other skills or martial arts. I'll keep it as is. All right, now we have OCC related. Related skills. Select 10 other skills at level 1, plus select 1 additional skill level 3, 6, 9, and 12. All new skills start at level 1 proficiency. All right. I'll write these down here. Communications. It says any 10%. Domestic. Plus 5%. All right, and then espionage, no bonus. Horsemanship. Medical, brewing, first aid, and holistic medicine only. So I'll write that like this. I'll do brewing. First aid. And holistic medicine only. Next is military. It says none. I'll just put that military. Espionage, none. So I don't think I'm able to choose anything from those, but I will write it down just in case. Physical, let's see. Any except acrobatics, gymnastics, or wrestling. Okay, so except acrobatics, acro, gym, wrestling. Rogue, any. Science, mathematics, skills only. Math, skills only. Scholar, technical, any plus 10%. Okay. Scholar, technical, plus 10%. Weapon proficiency, any. Proficiency. Okay. Wilderness. Carpentry. Preserved food. Or preserved food. Land navigation only. Okay. Secondary skills. I'll move this over. Let's see. I think we're done rolling dice, so we'll set this aside. All right, secondary skills. I will keep these over here. Now, this is a learning experience for me, so I will probably, after I do the character sheet, I'll probably review how I did, and maybe I can, next time, move some things around to fix it up. The character also gets to select 4 secondary skills from the previous list at level 1, 2 additional skills at level 2, 4, 8, and 12. There are additional areas of knowledge that do not get the advantage of bonus listed. All secondary skills are at base skill level. Also, skills are limited, but not any, only none, as previously indicated list. Okay, so we get to choose 4 secondary skills from the previous list at level 1. All right. That does not make too much sense to me. Let's see here. I already have the skills, but it's saying the character also gets to select 4 secondary skills from the previous list at level 1 and 2 additional skills at level 4. All right. These are additional areas of knowledge that do not get the advantage of bonus listed in the parentheses. Okay. Let's try espionage. This will be our one of level the 4 level 1 skills. So I'll put here 1 and then the 4. Then let's see, the second can be military. Skills limited, any, only none as previously indicated in the list. Oh, it says all secondary skills are start at base skill level. Also, skills are limited, any, only, none as previously indicated in the list. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm not able to use those. So here is what I'll do. The secondary skills is very, very confusing to me. I'm not used to this level of intricacy when it comes to character creation, but I want to do it and want to learn it. So basic math, I already have that. WP2 of a choice. Let's do 2 of your choice. I just do not know anything about this section, so I'm going to leave this out. It's very, very confusing. I don't know why. I'm just brain farts all over the place. But it says the character also gets, well, I'm looking at these other sections too. Secondary skills, this list, level 1, additional, level 4. Almost listed in parentheses. Okay. So do I just list what I previously have without parentheses? I guess I'll just try that. So let's do hand-to-hand basic. These will be the 4 level 1s. Rogue. Weapon. Okay, we need one more. Let's try medical first aid. Okay, now it says 2 additional skills at levels 2, 4, and 12. Wow. All right, I'm going to take, so these 4 here, I was accurate. They are level 1. And this one's going to be level, additional 2 skills. Are there just more skills I can choose from that are not listed? Let's see. I don't know if I'm doing this wrong or I'm just reading it. I'm just reading it wrong. Let's see, skills. Skill list, page 49. Let's check it out. Here we go. Here's what I'm going to do. I wrote down all these other ones we already have, but I'm going to actually change these and just pick randomly from this list. If this is cheating, I just don't really care. It's just really aggravating for some reason. So back to 97, I want to list what I can choose. It says 2 at levels 2, and then 4, 8, and 12. Okay, let's see what we got. Photography, writing. Let's do writing. Let's do. Oh, what the heck? Sign language. And then for a third level 1 skill, we'll do pick locks. And then pick pockets. Okay, our first level 2 skill will be, let's try boxing. Running. Okay, our 2 level 4 skills, we'll do streetwise. And then we'll do pickpockets, science skill, scholar. Let's do history. All right, our first 2 level 8 skills. Let's try sculpture, writing, art. Let's do wilderness skills. We have land navigation, which I think we already have. Yep. Wait. Wilderness. Yep, it's right here. Preserve food, we have that. Wilderness travel. Survival. I'm probably doing this wrong, but to be honest, I just want to get through it. And please feel free to comment below about what I did do wrong or what I could have done differently. I'm totally fine with that. Dousing. So weapons, we have, okay, WP, weapon proficiencies. Okay, that makes sense now. I'm going to list those down here in secondary for the 2 best ones we have. So I'll do WP knife, and then, so knife, and let's do blunt. WP blunt. Maybe I should label that these are downstairs in the secondary department. Okay. All right, now we still have 1 remaining level 8. I'll just choose prowl. All right. Back to 97. So it says for merchant, our starting equipment, which I'll put here, 2 sets of clothing, pair of boots, a hat, belt, blanket, backpack, 1 large sack, 1d4, 2 small sacks, water skin, bottle of wine, food rations for 1d4 weeks, notebook, 2 crow quill pens, bottle of ink, small lantern, and tinderbox. Okay, write that down here. So clothing, number 1, clothing number 2, boots, hat, belt, blanket, backpack, Let's see, one large sack. One D4, two small of. Let's see, where's my 1D4? Here it is. Small sacks. All right, so four, which is all right. So six small sacks times six of that. A water skin. We also have a. Sorry, this book is really folding in. Bottle of wine. Okay, wine bottle. Then food rations for 1D4 weeks. All right, so rations for 3 weeks. I do like how it's actually a week and it's not per day. Notebook. Two row quill pens. With two of those. Bottle of ink. All right. Small lantern. And then a tinderbox. Okay. Armor. Starts with a suit of hard leather. Okay. Interesting. So armor will be up here. We'll do AR. And that makes our SDC 30. That's what I was looking for. Armor 11. You know what? Let's move this over. And AR 11. Trying to keep that all close together. Starts with a knife and two other weapons of choice. All are basic SDC weapons of fair to good quality. Magic weapons and other must be acquired later. So 200 gold, which can be used immediately to purchase more equipment or saved. Additional money will come from payment from jobs and our booty. Beauty. So let's do 200 gold pieces here. Then weapons. So armor, he has hard leather. I'll put down armor as a label. And then weapons, he has a knife. And two other weapons. Let's see. Weapons of our choice. Okay. Now let's look for the weapon page. This video is almost at an hour, so I was correct. Weapons, 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 weapons. Optional. Let's see, where are weapons at? There they are. Page 268. Way up there. And I said two basic weapons of our choice that are good quality. All right, so we have a knife, which is, let's see, axe knife is here. Blunt objects, which we can also be good at. Don't see knives anywhere. Short sword. Oh, here we go. It's all the way down here. Knives, dagger and knives. So they have 1d6 of damage. Length, weight. I'm going to ignore all that. And then we can choose two other weapons. I'll do a blunt object. So let's do a mace, which is right here. It says 2d6. And the third item, third object, is a short staff. Six. There we go. And then the leather, we have hard leather armor, which is 11. SDC of 30. Weight is 11 pounds. Okay, well, I have no idea if I'm done, but this is the character. This is Cargon. He's a human merchant. Let's see, gender male. About that. I have no idea how I did. Uh, please, if you are experienced in Palladium, made characters back in the 70s, 80s, etc., feel free to critique this. I'm open to criticism, or maybe, to be honest with you, taking any critique I get, any feedback. I will use this as if this is truly a terrifying looking uh, work of art, then I will use this as what not to do in the future. But let me get one sheet that I found. I think it's in my collection of character sheets. But basically, when I purchased the first Palladium book, there was this character sheet. I've not didn't ignore during this process, but just didn't want to reference too much. Because again, my channel is an experiment and a challenge for myself. But this is what I found in my original purchase of Palladium Revised Edition. The handwriting, I've talked about this before, I bragged about it, even though it's not mine. The layout is superb, and the handwriting is amazing and clean. And it looks like this guy or girl, whoever made this, designed it with such flair and neatness and organization. It's what mine could have been. So it's like a before and after. So after the weight loss, it turned into this. So I mean, looking at the skills, I'm sure I didn't do the skills correctly because it says here he has 35 plus 5. Mine are not even calculated yet. Secondary skills. Again, I need to learn more about the game, but I just don't have as much time as I would like. But the fact I made this character sheet and as much as I can is good enough for me, and I truly hope you guys enjoyed. I will keep this character sheet I made as reference, and I obviously keep this one and cherish it because it's what it was in my book. So thank you for watching. Hope this wasn't too terrible for you, and I will see you guys next time.